Hi everyone, and oh my goodness, it is so cold in my house that hopefully this is going to be extremely quick. I should probably start by saying that obviously today was the day that some venues could open for inside dining for up to 10 people with alcohol. And I believe that there was an announcement about an hour and a half ago saying that pubs could open, and now everybody's more confused than they were this morning when it was just people with a restaurant and catering license. So anyway, venues are open, and go out and have a meal, book, buy food, buy drinks, don't sit at a table for too long, and do check with venues what their system is, because some places are doing multiple sittings, taking deposits, whatever. So next week we have the first lot of students undertaking the WSET Level 1 online course. So that's very exciting probably for them, and also for me to see how that pans out. I've got some more course dates that came through from the WSET last night. So they will probably be going up in the next few weeks because they're quite a long way out. And I do want to see how things pan out here first in face-to-face courses. Last night we had our Cabernet Masterclass, which was Australian Cabernet. We had 2 wines from Western Australia, one from Margaret River and one from Great Southern, one from the Coonawarra in South Australia and one from Clare, and we had all 4 winemakers with us, which was fantastic. So a big thank you to them for joining us. And that reminds me, I haven't sent them thank you emails today, so I might get onto that after this. Now, what is happening with the virtual masterclasses is I sent out a survey to people who had been to them, and that was overwhelmingly positive. So that's amazing. And most people did want them to continue post lockdown. So they will be. I'm going to switch to monthly though, because I think everybody is starting to get a little bit zoomed out. And, you know, especially with people returning to offices and starting to have not work commitments, because a lot of people have had those, but, you know, commutes, things like that. I think monthly is probably going to be better. I'll probably also shift the time to, just because 6 p.m. is quite early if you do have to get home. And also I know that for the guys in Western Australia who joined us yesterday, 4:30 was a little bit early for them to kick off as well. And, you know, I would love some people from Western Australia to join us. So we did have somebody from Japan and somebody from France last night. So that was amazing. Now, what have I been drinking in the last week? Not a huge amount. Well, I don't know. There's not a huge number of empty bottles here. I don't know if that's the same thing or not. Anyway, so what we have first of all is a Dodgy Brothers Sangiovese. It's 2015, and this was a bottle that I found kicking around, and it was one sad, lonely bottle. And to be honest, it was really like, should have drunk that a couple of years ago. It's just a little bit unbalanced. And I did actually try it a few years ago, and I know that's not what it was like. So definitely something that should have been drunk earlier. Now, one of the wines that we had last night was the Forest Hill Cab Sav from, great, you can't really see that, but you can jump on the website and see this, the Forest Hill Cab Sav, Highbury Fields Cab Sav from Great Southern. So it was really interesting because my Western Australian geography is pretty horrendous. So it was great to sort of have to do some research into Western Australian regions and find out a little bit more about Great Southern. This was a really lovely wine. It's 11% Malbec, but it does have those very typical Cabernet characteristics with some of that blue. I find Cabernet and Malbec very blue fruit, with some of that coming through and some real sort of savoury notes on the back palate, but definitely a very fruit-forward kind of wine. It is a 2017, so that's kind of what you would expect. So that was really lovely and gone now. And then I've also got the Tim Grant 2017 Clare Cab Sav. So one of the things that I asked the winemakers last night was to do a little bit of a guided tasting or structured tasting before they sort of got into talking about the wine more generally. But the other thing was that I asked I asked all of them, what kind of thing, if you sort of had to pick out a characteristic that was going to define Margaret River or Claire Cab Sav, what would it be? And Tim Gramp with this wine, one of the things that he mentioned, which sort of really stuck in my mind, was spearmint. So I'll do a glass here. We'll have a quick taste of this now. And Cabernet is the type of thing that as well, you don't have to rush into drinking the whole bottle at once. You can certainly stay open over a couple of days and possibly benefit from that. You don't want to serve it too cold in this weather. It's pretty hard. Sue Bell was commenting on, if you're drinking wine in the Coonawarra at the moment, it's pretty brisk in Adelaide too. So this actually tonight, it has much more of that cassis black currant on the nose. So think Ribena. Go out and buy some Ribena and try that if you want to know what black currant smells like. And it does have it. I probably wouldn't go necessarily spearmint, but sort of that menthol. I guess that's kind of spearminty character to it. Yeah. If you think about those spearmint green, those lollies, those green leaves that are all covered in sugar and really quite gross, but sort of that kind of, there is definitely some mintiness there. Actually, and this looks a lot better tonight than it did last night. So, if this is a wine that you've got, definitely drink it over a couple of nights or give it a bit of a vigorous decant to let it open up a bit. So definitely black currant, blackberry, black fruits, actually some real kind of black cherry. Yeah, definitely black cherry notes on the palate. Very fruit forward, and especially these two wines, the two 2017s we tasted after two older wines, and the sort of fruit, the fresh fruit character in both of them really stood out. Really nicely balanced. So Cabernet can be quite alcoholic. How alcoholic is this? If I can read, 14.5. Yeah, and that 14.5, you just would not pick that at all. Very nicely balanced. The tannins in this are pretty soft. They're there, but they're kind of they're very soft and almost velvety, and nice acid that pulls everything through. So yeah, definitely if you've got some of this, I would it's freezing cold. It'd probably be much better a little bit warmer, but definitely give it a little bit of a decant just to open it up a bit, or drink it over 2 nights and compare the two, because today there's definitely, it looks just a little bit more complex and just a little bit more of that kind of fruit balance in it. Alrighty. I don't think I have anything else to say today. Oh my God, it's so cold. So keep an eye on the website, because there will definitely be the masterclass details going up. I've got a whole pile of ideas planning for that. So the next one is, I think it's the 18th of June. Let's just double check that date. The next one will be Thursday, the 18th of June, and we do have a theme already. It is going to be Austrian grape varieties. So we're going to be looking at 2 Gruner Veltliners and 2 Blaufränkisches. The Gruners are both going to come from the Adelaide Hills at this stage, and we'll have 1 local Blaufränkisch and 1 Austrian Blaufränkisch. So keep an eye on the website or indeed the Facebook page, Wine Academy Adelaide, to keep up to speed with those. And I shall see you all next week. And don't forget, if you are in South Australia or indeed anywhere where venues have opened up, even if they haven't, if you can support a local venue this weekend in some way, spend some money, that would be awesome. And I'll see you all next week.